I just had to share something else with you just really quickly, because I just had a text from someone, and he said, Kate, he's a photographer, so it's a bit feast or famine with his with money coming in. He said, when there's money coming in, I feel fearless, I feel bulletproof. And he said, when there isn't money coming in, I feel weak and ineffectual and vulnerable. And he said, that's really weird. Maybe it's something in my past that I need to go and, look at or process. And what if it's way more simple? What if what he's doing innocently is outsourcing his inner well-being, his inner being, his who he really is? What word should I use? His inner OK-ness. And he's putting it on something on the outside. He's attaching it to something on the outside. Like, I'm okay if I have money. And if you look at yourself, how often do you do that? Like, I'm okay if I'm healthy. I'm okay if I have money. I'm okay if my children are, not anxious or not struggling. I'm okay if, there's so many. We outsource our, I'm okay if I'm controlling my experience. I'm okay if I have certainty. I'm okay. There's so many to choose from. And, mine would have been, and they still lie there a bit dormant. They do rear their heads occasionally, but I feel them. That's the whole thing. It's like I said, it's not about not feeling life, but it's becoming aware of sometimes what your feelings are showing you. And when I'm outsourcing my inner well-being, my inner OK-ness onto something out on the outside of me, I feel incredibly vulnerable. I feel really like, what I used to do was I used to outsource and attach my inner well-being onto my children, my daughter not getting anxious. And so every time she would get anxious, I didn't feel okay. Do you know what I mean? Because I've told myself that my inner well-being is attached to her behavior, to her experience. And the reason why it's so uncomfortable, because it's not true. Our inner well-being is perfectly intact. It isn't dependent on anything on the outside. And that allows you to have a different relationship with it. And what I mean is a different relationship with your experience. Because before, when my well-being was attached to my children, every time they start to struggle with something, I immediately go into fearful fixing and, trying to change it. And because I don't feel very stable, because I've attached my well-being to their experience. And it meant that I would always be, just in a bit of a, I just wasn't present. And I was just fixing and trying to change. And when I realized that my inner well-being is perfectly intact, it's not attached to anything, it meant that I could open up this space for them, so that when they would struggle with something, it wasn't about me jumping in and fixing it, which made them get really reactive. It was about opening up this space where they could find the answers, because I wasn't in this sort of state of fearful fixing, because I wasn't outsourcing my well-being onto them, And so I guess what I'm saying is just notice if you're telling yourself, I'm okay if, and getting interested in that. Because what if your well-being isn't attached to anything on the outside of you? How would life look? That's my dog running down, chasing something. Someone said once, be more dog. And I think that's quite a good idea. They just live their lives. Okay, bye.